I am Shanna, and this is The Soul Frequency, where freedom, love, purpose, and mission grow. Let's go. Hey guys, so I'm really frustrated by some of the things that I see going on. And I'm going to break this down for you because occasionally I will see something. It's like a sign, right, from the divine. And it takes me into a portal of all this information about this subject. It's like tons of information. So I'm going to take you down this road. I was driving on the freeway going to Los Angeles. I saw this sign, you know, those lit up signs. And it said something like, drive safe, sober, be sober or something, and not the wrong way. Not the wrong way. What do they mean? Like, don't drive the wrong way on the freeway, or don't be driving drunk because that, is the wrong way to drive. And I'm like, have we really come to this? And here's why I find this sign offensive and ridiculous. Because number one, like, if I'm driving down the freeway and I've had, some cocktails or something of that nature, and I'm reading this sign, is that going to cause me to like take a different behavior, to get off the freeway and stop driving? If I'm not, right, drinking and driving, like some people, in the world probably are at every moment. But let's say I'm driving down the freeway, like me, I'm not drinking. It's the middle of the day. It's like, I see this sign and I'm just like, is that going to impact me so that stays with me? And then is that going to have me change my behavior if I'm the type of person that is going to drink and drive? I don't think so, right? I don't think so by a long shot. And then the fact that they say not the wrong way, like, this is insulting the intelligence of humanity. Signs like this, like, make me question where we're going. Let's track this for a second here. So the reason somebody might drink too much and get in a car has to do with so many other factors, right? The reason that somebody drinks too much might have to do with things they went through in their childhood, emotional stuff they're not dealing with in their life right now. Maybe they just want to go have fun for a night. If they're not thinking like in the right state of mind or rationally, and they get in the car behind the wheel after having drinks, no sign on a freeway or on a street side is going to change that behavior in that moment. So it's just a silly thing, right? It's like putting up like a silly moniker that means nothing and isn't really going to impact or change anything for somebody. It's also speaking to people, I feel like, in a way that's not super honoring your intelligence. And I think we're seeing a lot of this right now. So let's talk about perspectives and honoring someone's intelligence. I think when we start to believe that people are not smart as a community, right, as the collective, or that we need to spoon feed them information, or that we need to dumb things down even for people to understand, I think it's very dangerous territory. So imagine I'm hanging out with somebody, even a child, right? And I want to help them really think, like learn amazing critical thinking skills and really get good at this. I'm going to ask them questions, right? I'm going to pose things to them and have them really process, like, what does that mean for me? Or how would I explain that, right? When we ask someone a question, they have to think, like, what is my answer? Or when you ask someone to come up with a unique idea, they have to use their imagination. They have to use their skill set and their bed of knowledge. It's so powerful. So if I sat there all day, right, with kids or adults, asking them questions, right, leading them into critical thinking, there's going to be amazing ideas, right? People are going to come up with all kinds of different things, and nobody's going to give the same answers, right? They're coming from their own bed of knowledge, their own creativity, their own imagination, all of that, right? When we start talking to people in a way that doesn't stretch them, doesn't make them think, doesn't make them return to their own intuition, return to themselves to make a choice, right? Or to decide what they believe about something, then basically we are homogenizing people, right? We're saying this subset of people can understand this, but they can't understand that. And we start actually not exercising our brains, right? We start when we're not asked questions and we're not engaged in a way that causes us to critically think, then we're not exercising that muscle that is the biggest gift you have in this lifetime. And so when I see something like this sign, I'm like, what are we doing? Right? If we're not taught to do this in school, right? We're not taught to really critically think or think outside the box. If we're not taught how to come to our own conclusions, back years and years ago, the media, the news media was really good at giving you the bulk of information, right? So they would give you vantage points, multiple vantage points on any one topic, because that's what their job was, to present, well, this bit of science says this, or this person's opinion is that, and then this person's opinion is that, or this bit of science is showing this. We have information, right? An influx of information on any topic. And they used to present, right? Like, here's the different arguments. And you, as the consumer, right, of that news channel, got to critically think for yourself based on your own life experience, your own intelligence, your bed of experience, and to make a choice, right? A free will choice on what you believe. What has happened, ironically, with all of the information that's available, way more than when I was like a kid, right? So much information, right? Because we have the internet and we have so much information going back and forth, right, between people, is that we are not presented from a neutral space all the bed of information. In fact, on every different side of any argument, that information is being spun, is being selected, right? Like, oh, this is a good piece, right? Within this study, let's talk about this, or, oh, this is a good, thing that supports what I want other people to believe. And then it becomes a thing of really trying to push one belief set, right? And over here, this person trying to push this belief set, and this belief set. And again, this is part of homogenizing and not taking into account each individual's intelligence. It's not using people's critical thinking skills. It's not adding to people's ability to really think things through, trust their own gut, right? And take a stand on something or believe something. Have you noticed that you or anyone else in your life feels very confused, right? Confused by the amount of information, confused by conflicting information, right? Kind of pulling you over here or over here. Like, has anybody voiced to you, like, I just don't know what to believe? That is intentional, right? Confusing people to the point where they don't know what to believe is intentional. So why? Why would anybody do that, right? Why would we want to do that? Why would any group of people want to do that? Because it takes you out of your own intuition. If you are bombarded by information, right, and it's all confusing, and you're not being asked, right, by anybody, hey, I want you to take into account all these pieces of information. I want you to come to your own conclusion. And I'm going to ask you lots of neutral but exciting questions to have you be able to formulate how you feel about this topic, how you feel on this matter. It doesn't happen anymore. It doesn't happen like it used to, let's say 30 years ago, 40 years ago. And it's dangerous, right? This is why that sign was so triggering for me, because I'm like, people are intelligent, very intelligent. You have wisdom in you. You have an intuition. You have a guidance system that is the most extraordinary technology ever developed. But if we don't teach people about that, if we're not talking to people about how extraordinarily intelligent they are, instead putting them in a homogenized box of, oh, these people aren't smart enough to read this, or these people would never grasp this concept. If we're constantly being talked to, and this happens even with family members and friends, if we're talking down to people as though they aren't able to critically think, as though they don't have an intuition, as though they don't have their own compass, their own belief system, then we are selling people short. If we're talking about sobriety, right, and not getting in a car and driving if you've been drinking, there is so much more effective ways we can communicate about this issue than a sign on a freeway that is completely ineffective. We can talk about the reasons why people drink, the reasons why they overdrink. We can educate people on the emotional stuff that they might be storing inside of themselves that's causing them to want to tune out, right? Disassociate with some of that stuff going on. We can talk to people about what's going on in the world, right? And why they might want to disassociate through alcohol or drugs or other means so they don't have to deal with the confusion. The confusion. And as people are tuning out, right, if that's what they're doing, or feeling confused, what are we doing? We're taking away, right, the one thing that is our gift from God, which is our intuition. And when we stay disconnected from that intuition, we stay disconnected from our soul self and disconnected from how to discern what is right for us. You know, even if I presented, let's say, on any topic, all of the data and all of the science or all of the opinions, right, on this topic, there would still be people that believe in different ways, right? There would still be people that believe in different ways. There always has been. You're not going to get the consensus of every single person on the planet believing one way. It would never happen. Why? Because we're individuals, right? We are not homogenized. So why don't we allow people, right? And what you can do as part of the collective and the beautiful humanity that we have on the planet at this time, these awakened warriors of light and consciousness and goodness, to start with yourself and then with your community, asking questions of people that get them thinking, right? Having dialogue, having respectful conversation, thinking outside the box, looking and seeking information to bring a whole body of information together and see what resonates with you. Not because someone told you to believe this or someone told you to believe that, or this is getting spoon-fed to you or that is getting spoon-fed to you. Like, back off from all of that and stand there and say, I'm going to develop the most significant skill set that I can have on the planet at this time, which is to tune into myself, to critically think, to seek information, right? On all sides of the coin, to bring that in and see what resonates. We have to end the confusion, right? And we have to stop putting up ridiculous signs that don't do anything, as if we've checkmarked the box of like, right, now we've handled drunk driving. No, we don't handle these things by signage. We handle these things by getting to the truth, by talking about what really matters, by looking at what really helps people heal. And part of what helps people heal a myriad of things is them being connected to their own truth, their own belief system, and believing in their own self, believing in their own mind, their own heart, their own ability to problem solve, their own ability to create, to imagine, to live. If this resonates with you, share it with someone you love. Share this video, share the concept, click subscribe, click the like button. That would be the thumbs up. And I'll see you back here next week.